Here we are, Cirrus Network's opportunity presentation. And based on these updates that you guys all just heard, you're going to understand why this is so compelling. Okay. So, disclaimer, all for informational purposes only. I am not a financial planner or anything like that. Everything we share here is just for education and motivation. We're not selling any kind of financial products or investments or anything like that. Okay. What we're talking about is Cirrus Networks and a home-based business opportunity that we can all be part of with blockchain empowered services. Really fun stuff. So, to understand what this is all about, let's go ahead and talk about rewards and loyalty. Okay. I'm sure that every single one of us has been involved in some kind of rewards program in the last 20 years, right? And we love them. Everybody loves them. They're so fun. No, I don't know anybody that doesn't want to get a free meal or a free flight, or something, right? Free food based on loyalty coming back. And, whether it's the stars at Starbucks or just your points at my McDonald's or Delta Sky Miles, whatever it is, companies have learned that if they don't have a loyalty program, then they'll get skipped over, okay? Because people will drive an extra block or they'll spend a little bit more to just get their points, get their rewards, because we love free stuff. And I remember this from, well over 25 years ago with this little restaurant here called Cafe Rio. And it was super fun because they had a little punch card, right? A little punch card. And every time you went through, you got a little punch for each meal that you got. And after 10 meals, you got a free one, right? You got a free meal on the 10th. But it wasn't just the idea of getting a free meal, right? And that's cool. And it was great. And, yeah, why not? But it was the gamification that came with it because they made it fun. As you turned in that card that had 10 stamps on it, the cashier would shout free meal, and all the line cooks and everybody would shout free meal, and the entire restaurant would cheer, and clap and stuff. It was super fun, right? And it was just the recognition of it and everything, right? So it's great. The whole loyalty program is super fun, but it has its flaws, right? Because unfortunately, with all those things, you can't use a Cafe Rio punch card at Subway to get a free Subway sandwich, right? It doesn't work that way. And so the future of rewards is that thanks to Web3 or blockchain, we now have a huge advantage where, because instead of just saying, oh, the stars can only be redeemed at Starbucks or the Sky Miles can only be redeemed at Delta, or they could expire, right? Now, the rewards that we earn could be used on all kinds of things. You could mix and match. And not only that, but potentially even cash them in, right? You know how a lot of times coupons and other loyalty programs, they'll all say, oh, this is only worth, 0.0001 cent or something, right? It has no cash value or whatever. Well, the future of rewards is that rewards will actually have a monetary value to them and could be converted into dollars depending on the utility and the market. So that's why we're so excited. It's all through blockchain. Okay, what is blockchain? It's a digital ledger. It's just like having a big Excel spreadsheet that has a copy of it all over the world by anybody that owns what we call a node. Okay, so if you want to be an owner in a blockchain, you can purchase a node and you can then be rewarded for helping out with this whole concept of tracking information, storing transactions, making sure that they're transparent and secure, and more, right? It's all one ledger with endless possibilities, okay? So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, this is interesting, right? I can see this is the future, but how do I take advantage, right? Like, how does this benefit me? Sounds kind of complicated, maybe a little bit technical. Well, we're going to understand how Cirrus Networks allows us to participate in one or two or three, one of three ways, right? There's three ways you can be involved, and you can be in all of them or just one or two. The first one is ownership, right? And that is the idea of owning one of these nodes that powers the blockchain. Okay. So by doing that, you also have a voice, you have a say, you have voting rights, okay, with future enhancements and so on. It's great. And you get rewarded just for being an owner in the blockchain. The second is participation. Maybe you're not interested in being an owner. Maybe you don't want to, buy a node or something, and that's okay. You can just use the tokens. You can use the products and services that are attached to the blockchain and just be part of something decentralized that benefits you and rewards you, right? That's fine. And the third way potentially is if you like it, you feel like this is something fun and cool, and it's the future, then you might want to become an ambassador, right? You might want to be one that wants to go out and spread the word about how fun this program is, and that you become what we call a Cirrus associate, okay, or an affiliate. And with that, you're actually able to earn commissions in dollars, right? Weekly commissions paid out and monthly commissions. And it's not just in rewards, it's in actual money, right? So what is an owner? What does that mean to be an owner of a node? Well, we like to call it being a digital landlord because you're actually owning some infrastructure. Okay, just like you might own an apartment building, maybe you own a part of a highway, maybe you own something that's producing for you, right? And that is what an owner is, right? As a landlord, okay, you're able to say, I own this property, and people are paying rent for being able to stay in my property, or somebody's going across the toll bridge, and they're paying for the use of that bridge. So it's the same thing. As you own this node, you're helping with the whole infrastructure of creating this blockchain that exists all over the world. It's really cool, and you just get rewards every day for participating. Okay, so think of it like this. Would you rather buy a whole bunch of milk and then go resell the milk and try and make a profit? Or would you rather have the cow that then produces the milk? Or would you like to buy a whole bunch of apples and then go resell them? Or would you rather have the orchard that produces those apples? Or would you rather buy a whole bunch of corn, right, and go, make tamales or something and sell the tamales? Or would you rather own the land where that corn is growing, right, the farm, and get paid for what it produces? Okay. And the final example, the goose, right? Would you rather own the golden eggs or the goose that lays the golden eggs every day? Okay. That is kind of the idea. When you own a node, you're an owner, and then you get the benefits of ownership with daily rewards. Okay. So after that, you might say, okay, yep, I want to be an owner, but I also want to participate like more fully, right? And how do you do that? Well, Cirrus offers a way to participate through what we call X1 micronodes. And X1 micronodes are just services that people use every day. And they also pay out daily rewards based on just being part of the subscription of that product. Okay, so it's really a compelling idea of being able to say, hey, you know what? I already pay for some of these things anyway, so I might as well switch because I'm going to get a better price, and I'm going to get a better product, and I'm going to get rewarded for it. Okay, so what are the products? The current ones that we have right now are Safe, which is data storage. Think Dropbox or Google Drive or things like that. Okay. You put all your pictures and your files into there, make sure they're safe and they're not going to get lost if your hard drive crashes or your laptop gets stolen or whatever. You got Meetin, which is what we're using right now. And just like, people use Zoom and they use Google Meet or whatever. Well, the free versions are pretty limited, right? The paid versions, they're okay, but what if you could have even more? What if you could have 3 times as many people in your meeting, and more features and more call to action things and stuff, all at a better price, and be rewarded for it? And then stacks. So savings, okay? Savings on going shopping, savings on dining, savings on all kinds of fun things, whether you're online or retail, where not only are you saving money, but you're also getting rewarded for your purchases, right? And then finally, travel. Travel is a big one. Who doesn't want to get a deal on a hotel, right? If you could save 32% off on your next trip, like, yeah. And then on top of that, get rewards for booking a hotel or something, right? Of course, it makes all the sense in the world to say, yes, I would rather use the Stacks app than the competition because I'm going to save more money and get rewarded for it. Okay. So that is the idea. They're real products with real utility, products that people actually want, and you get rewarded. We like to call it the blockchain mall. Okay. And this is just the beginning. Like I said, we're just opening this mall. It's got these products so far. They're going to be adding more and more products all the time, all kinds of things, anything that you can think of that is a subscription based, okay, could potentially be added to this mall, and it's going to grow and it's going to be fun. All right. So it is called the triple advantage because it literally is better products, okay, better compared to the competition, offers more stuff, more options, more features at a better price than the competition, and better rewards. None of the competition is paying daily rewards from a blockchain just because you're using them. Okay. We are the only ones. It's super, super cool. All right. Now you might think, well, that sounds awesome. I want all three, right? And so can I get it in a bundle, right? If I get all three of those, can I save some money? And yes, the answer is absolutely. We have something called the Omni subscription, which is where you get all three of those, Stacks, Meet, and Safe. And it's a total value of 60, right? If you added them all up together, you'd be paying $60 a month. But with the subscription in a bundle, you're saving $10. Okay, you can get all three for just $49.95 a month, and it actually counts for the commissions and everything else. That's what these numbers are here. But yeah, you're getting 120 daily reward points just for being on that subscription. Okay, so the daily reward points then convert into Noti tokens on the blockchain at your leisure. Whenever you want to convert those what we call DRPs into tokens, you can do that inside what we call our Noti wallet. Okay, so you have a wallet where you get your rewards and you can then convert them into tokens. So pretty cool idea to be part of an Omni subscription. If you want to maximize your rewards, you can do that through what we call our Omni Plus subscription. It includes something called the DRP Booster. So what that does, it just adds an extra 100 reward points onto your subscription there. And so instead of just 110, you're getting about 220 a day. Okay, this is every day. You're getting those daily reward points, and those can then be converted into Noti token at your leisure. So pretty awesome, $110 value, but you can get that for $99.95 and maximize how many rewards you're getting. And the other thing this does for you is help you with the compensation model if you decide to participate in the third option. Okay, so there are more apps coming soon. As I mentioned, all kinds of what we call SaaS products, software as a service type products, are going to be continued to be added to the system. We envision the time when there will be hundreds of different types of services and products that people need, love, and want and can't live without. And you can do it through Cirrus and be rewarded because it's all integrated into a blockchain. All right, so that third option, word of mouth marketing. So if you are a community member, right, you're an owner, you bought a node, maybe you're using some of the services, maybe you're on the Omni subscription because you love all these products and you want to save money on travel and shopping and so on. But then you're thinking, wow, this is so fun. If I want to tell some friends and family about this, how do I do it? Right? Like that, I think that would be cool. Get I have a brother who lives in Texas and maybe he would want to be part of this, or I got a friend that, lives in Mexico, might want to be part of this. So is there a way I can benefit from just sharing it? And the answer, of course, is yes. All you got to do is become what we call an affiliate or an associate. And now you can actually be benefited from that word of mouth. And why is this a thing? Why would the company offer this, right? Well, because they know that it's the most powerful way, right? They could spend money advertising, they could, get Facebook advertising, or they could put up billboards, or they could, do radio ads or whatever. But they know that the most efficient, the most effective way to get the word out about something is through people who have friends and family, and they just tell them about it, right? It's like, hey, you know what? I went and saw that, that new movie that just came out and it was wonderful. Or, you tell your friends and boom, all of a sudden it goes viral and people are going to see the movie. Or, there's a restaurant. Oh, those tacos at that restaurant are so good. You got to go eat them. Of course, people will do that because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And when that happens, there's nothing more powerful, right? They could see an ad 100 times on the TV, but when their next door neighbor says, hey, did you go check that out? It's so good. That's the first thing they're going to do. So it's powerful, it's amazing, and we can benefit from that as the company shares the revenue. Okay. And the way it works is you just decide, yep, I want to be an affiliate or an associate. It's free to join. Okay. You sign up. And now if you tell somebody about node ownership, or you tell somebody about one of the, whether it's Meetin, maybe it's the Stacks program, maybe they want to get a bundle, you're going to earn 20% of their purchase. Okay. So somebody buys, the Omni bundle for, $50. Guess what? You're going to get 20% of that the following Friday. And then when they renew the following month, you're going to get another 20%. You get 20% every time, not just once, every time. Every month that they renew and pay for their Meetin, or pay for their Stacks, or pay for their Omni, whatever it is, you're going to get 20% of that every single time. And then not only that, but then they maybe want to go and share it with some friends and family, right? And it just kind of starts to grow. So maybe, you tell 5 people, and then maybe they tell another, 2 or 3 people themselves, and they tell another 2 or 3 people. And it just starts to grow, and it turns into, 100 people. And next thing you know, you've got, 500 people in your organization and your team, and you're making money on all of it every single Friday as people continue to buy these products and pay for them. So really, really cool. And then of course you're getting rewards for that too, right? Not just dollars, but rewards for every referral, every single time they renew. So pretty fun. And if you combine it all, you can see that this could turn into something very life-changing, right? So it all comes down to timing. And those that take advantage of the timing are the ones that make the most money and get the most rewards. Okay, because literal countries and governments are starting to embrace this idea of tokenization and digital assets, blockchain. Right, it's accelerating. Industries all over the world are starting to see the value in decentralization and blockchain technology, how it can make sure that there's no corruption. It can create efficiencies. It can really help save money for companies, right? And then, of course, Cirrus is just getting started, right? We're pretty much the first ones to really do what we're doing, okay? And the best is yet to come. So we have, it's virgin territory out there, right? We can go and just really take advantage because not everybody knows about this yet, right? It is really something that is brand new. Less than, we'll just say 90% of people in the world have never even dealt with blockchain. Maybe they've heard of it, but nobody's been using it. And we, as Cirrus Networks, we're ambassadors. We have this great opportunity before us to be the first ones to go and bring blockchain to the masses, to all the people that could take advantage of it and would love to get rewarded for things they're already doing. So we're early. We want to be part of something big. The momentum is real. The future is unfolding. The best is ahead of us. We can go out and build the future together. So it's just as simple, like I said, as signing up, pick your bundle, and then start sharing and participating and getting rewarded every single day. The future is now, my friends. We can secure our place in this Noti blockchain revolution. We can be part of a community that's reshaping technology and power. We can embrace sovereignty, transparency, the power of participation. We can contribute to a decentralized future and be rewarded for it. And we can be digital landlords for as little as $10 per month. That's all it takes. You just be on the safe subscription and you're earning those rewards every single day. So if you just add, the idea that you can share this with friends and family, you can add that extra stream of income to your life just by spreading the word about how cool this all is. So that is it, my friends. That is Cirrus Networks. Please get back to whoever invited you to watch this presentation. Ask how you can get involved, how you can start earning daily rewards, and how this can change your future forever. Thanks again, and we will see you all on the next one. Take care, everybody.